Are Snapchat's beauty filters making people look whiter? So we're all familiar with their beauty filters, whether they blur out imperfections or make your eyes bigger, or sometimes they even apply virtual makeup. Well, a number of different media outlets, Yahoo Beauty, BuzzFeed, are pointing out that they make your nose smaller and they make your skin lighter. And then also social media. Here's a tweet from Simply Allegra. She wrote, Snapchat, I'm very disturbed by the fact that your beautification filters make my skin lighter and my nose and jaw smaller. Just saying. And then there's a number of tweets, too, saying, why is Snapchat trying to make me look white? Thoughts, 5 words or less?
Nothing to see here.
Oh, God.
I hate racism, too.
It can be depressing. I put on that one beautification one where because I know here we have lights, but I have spots. I have pimple spots. I have brown spots. You, Brett. And when I put on that beautification, when I first got Snapchat, which is fairly recently, and I looked at that one very popular filter that kind of blurs everything out, I was like, damn, I wish my skin looked like this. And then I went in the mirror and I was like, oh, there are the wrinkles. There's the spots.
Yeah.
It can be a little depressing.
No high def.
And then this is my very shallow feelings about it. This is a much deeper perspective on how people feel like that it's whitewashing them.
Right. I think it makes sense. It's like this trap. It says, listen, we're making this video thing and people want to look better than they do. That's just like a lot of people are like, I don't look good today. But then they have to mathematically and in code define what better is. And when we see the effects of that, if it is lightening your skin, then it's like, oh my God, Snapchat seems racist.
Or is it, on the flip side, or is it just, we all know that, in the industry, when you apply more light, when you're using Photoshop and you increase the exposure, it does blur out imperfections. So let's look at it from that perspective too, rather than immediately saying that Snapchat is racist.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I also don't, I've heard and I've seen examples, but I don't really see where it makes the nose smaller and the jaw.
It does.
It does?
It 100. Maybe not that one filter that I was speaking of, but in the other ones where.
Is it the one where? Is it the Coachella one with the flower crown? Because I know
that's the one that makes you like super white.
Yeah, because that one definitely is very. But to me, it looks like how I perceived it, and I could 100% be wrong because I am coming from a place of privilege here, where I have like the pastiest, whitest skin. Is that to me it looked like just like a sun glow because it's Coachella. They rolled it out for Coachella and then just kind of stuck around because it was very popular. And I was thinking that's what I associated with, not necessarily that it was making skin lighter, but that it was like, oh, it's Coachella, it's in the desert, it's sunny, here's a flower crown, and let's make everyone's eyes bigger because that's what we all want to look like Disney characters.
And that could be a reason too. I think it's good to look at it in all different perspectives.
And it's bad. Like, what if there's also the ones that like warp your face to make your jaw enormous and your eyes super small? What about people who do look like that?
I actually thought about that.
Like, what if they do it and it's like, oh, now I just look.
I did a whole like rant to Mark with, I think it was the jaw that was like really square, and then I showed it to Mark. He was like, "That's mean. How do you think people feel that have really, really square jaws?" And
Mini Driver is just pissed.
Now, to be fair, it was like a really, really square jaw.
Yeah.
If they do
Mini Driver,
they do a pointy chin filter, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh no, let's look at
If they do a Cruz.
If they do a Ted Cruz filter, I'm gonna be livid. I'm gonna be offended.
You should sue
I might
for the
even
rights.
drop out. Yeah, I'm gonna sue for the rights of my
I'm
chin.
looking at your chin. I don't see pointy chin.
I
Look
don't see
straight
that at
me.
all.
Look directly at me. No,
Look at
not
that.
at
But
all.
you'll see people in the viewers at home will see from the angle. They'll be like, oh, it's reaching out to get him. It's
I
you know
get
what?
it.
the
Grace,
nose, the nose and the chin are trying to meet halfway to like high five each other.
Can I
lot of
tell you
people are like
something?
that.
I admire your chin so much that I'm like, I wish I could get a little chin bump. And I'm like
Let
me
me see your chin.
I don't have much of a chin.
I feel
want
like your
Grace's
chin pokes out a little.
You've got a
too
great
much.
chin.
I
You've got a
want
great
more
chin.
chin. I want
just
Grace's chin.
Well, the point is, I think that what we're all talking about here is that people look. You always will see imperfections in the way that you look.
We all
and
will.
I think, and so Snapchat created these filters to try and harness that energy that we put out into the world. Like, I wish I looked different. I wish I could change something about myself. And as with kind of almost anything that we put out these days, there are different experiences and perceptions that people will have that will come together and be like, hey, that offends me. And we should definitely hear that, but not everyone will experience that. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And to piggyback on that, just remember that these are, it's not real. When you
Right.
see a certain magazine cover, when you look at that filter, just remind you, or when you see someone post a photo and you go, oh my God, her skin looks so good, remind you that that's not reality. That's an idealistic version of what
Right.
reality is today in this virtual world. if that
Another
makes
thing to
sense.
think about is like other cultures. Yes, like I know that certain cultures say that lighter skin is better because it means you don't have to go out and work in the sun. But like there's people who go to tanning salons to look hotter.
Yep.
So it's all a convention, and then there's certain people in different parts of the world who like make their teeth darker because they think if your teeth are white, that's ugly. So for any culture that says one thing is hot, there might be another culture that says
Exactly.
the opposite is hot, and over time those definitions within the same cultures change drastically.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Like if you were like a pasty white dude with curly long hair in the 80s, like the world was your oyster. Now it's different, and I think that's unfair. And I just want to speak up for them.
Or like in the 90s, skinny brows versus big brows. I over-tweezed my brows, still to this day, have to fill in these brows. I wish I had Grace's brows. So,
Thanks, Dad.
all right, you guys, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.